There was an old game my older brother and I loved to play together on Sega Genesis on Sega Channel, and if you don't know what that is, I feel sorry for you. You missed an awesome time. Years went by. It was so long ago. But I could remember the look of the levels and all the noises so clearly. I finally typed in first-person shooter for Sega in Google over the weekend and found it within minutes. It was called Bloodshot. The following story is true, and you can even look up the game to see it is real, unlike many others claim to be seen. It was a boring night at home. I lived with two of my brothers and my father. I was home alone. Dad worked late, brothers over friend's place, so yeah. I decided to check out a bunch of old Sega Genesis games with an emulator on my brother's computer. It was good memories, but no game lasted me more than 5 minutes. I then remembered Bloodshot and frowned when I saw it wasn't in my brother's game folder. It took a while, but I found the download link for it, but it stopped at 92%. I was frustrated waiting for an hour without it moving. I then noticed the file itself was in the game folder where I told it to download to, so I tried loading it anyway without waiting any longer. I was relieved it worked. The familiar graphics came up on the screen and the well-known little sounds filled my ears. It took a while controlling it with a keyboard, but I managed the buttons. Things got a little strange when I opened the door to enter the first level and I saw another avatar already running and picking up all the special guns, even though I was playing alone and not even on two-player mode. And this game is basically a fossil. It wasn't an online game. I thought it was a computer-controlled entity, although I don't remember one being there before, and it was doing all the work for me. I followed behind, getting bored as he blasted all the enemies, and then the boss of the level, and we ran back. After the boss dies, you have to run to the start before the place explodes. The second level, we stood in front of the first door. This is when I felt awkward around the other guy. He turned to me, and then the door, as if waiting for me to open it. So I did, and we ran off. Eventually, I realized I was almost dead and have been fighting alone. I turned around to see my mysterious ally was running along the walls, and eventually found a hidden door with a special gun. That did it. This guy was acting like a human player and not a computer-controlled entity. We went ahead into the level, and I noticed some glitches, out textures on the walls. Curiously, when I ran into one, the game froze, so I reloaded the game and found myself alone in the first two levels. As I entered the third level, the countdown was already commencing and I saw my mysterious ally running towards me to exit the exploding level. We come to level 4 and it seemed the higher the level, the more glitched textures appear. Before entering the door into the fourth level though, he shot me a few times, and then faced forward and waited for me to open the door. It was as if he was cursing me for abandoning him the first time around. When I shot at him, it did nothing. After we defeated the fourth boss, the countdown didn't start. Confused, I followed the other player behind the dead boss and he opened a hidden door. Behind it was an avatar of a human, rather than looking like a robot like everyone else. It walked into me, startling me a bit, and the screen flashed red as if I died, but the game froze. It was late, so I went to bed and shrugged it off. The next day, the game wouldn't load and came up with an error. I was interested to load the game up, but gave in after an hour and finished the download quite quickly. The game was normal, however, there was no other player. I reached the fourth level, and after the boss, the countdown commenced. I went behind him and opened the door, and inside was the human avatar as well as another player texture. They walked into me, and the game flashed red. I died, but the game didn't freeze. I respawned in a huge level, but came across no enemies, weapons, or mines, but there is a strange buzzing noise. I am still walking through the level and trying to find out what the hell this is all for. I left my computer on, but the game paused. It keeps unpausing itself in the middle of the night and I hear the noises of the game as I leave my speakers turned up. Whenever I sit down to pause it again, I see something run around the corner at the last second, but can never catch to see what it is. I keep feeling like something is watching me as I sleep.